guys, and welcome to the SRL round 6 around Monaco, and here's my point of view of the race. So we're coming around the last corner to start the qualifying lap. We've got about 1 minute 30 on the clock. I am feeling reasonably comfortable in qualifying around here as we take the first corner absolutely perfectly, nice bit of curve. However, I just haven't been seeming to get the time out, and we take that corner slightly wide off the apex there, and we completely miss that apex. So actually the first sector's been slightly scrappy as we flick it into lean. As we can see, we're slightly down on our previous time. We're on quite wide there as our tyres are warming up, and we take the Lowe's hairpin sweetly. Let's see how much curb we take. Nicely around there, a bit of a drift. Decide not to use first gear there and hence miss the apex a little bit. And we're now coming through the tunnel, thinking about the braking point into this chicane, which is incredibly difficult. But fortunately we get that nicely. We run slightly wide, should have kept it in first a little bit longer. Now coming to the incredibly faster back, and we've hit the wall. We'll get away with that this time though, and we're actually a fair amount up, which is good to see. Slightly sideways on the exit. Now we're coming into Rascasse. We go slightly deep. Coming around the final corner, we hit the apex nicely, open the DRS into Rich Mix, and we're going to come across the line, and it's going to be a 1:14.1, which is good enough for pole position. Our first pole of the season, which is excellent to see. I should say at this point our championship rival disconnected from qualifying, so we'll start last. So this is an excellent opportunity to try and extend our championship lead, which is at 3 points at the moment. And we have 5 lights, and they're on for quite a while, but the lights are out and away we go. We get our first good start of the season, to be honest. Can't quite believe it, keep looking back, and we're going to take the first corner very conservatively, just trying to keep out of any incidents. And we're now coming around the first corner. We put it into third, but not quite sure how much grip we're going to have. We have done 0 laps of race practice for this race. We did a few time trial laps and that was it. As you can see, we're going deep with this heavy car. Oresi, who had his best qualifying of the season, is keeping us honest around here, and we're getting slightly sideways already. The tyres will be warm as we put it into first, which we didn't do on our qualifying lap. Now using Rich Mix through the tunnel to try and extend our gap, which we seem to be doing alright. We seem to be very strong into this chicane, braking very late, almost cutting that there, and getting a good exit off it as well. Now, yeah, take it nice and slow there so we don't hit walls, don't want to lose any end plates to gain time in pit stops and lose time on track as we hit that bollard. Doesn't seem to have done us any harm at all though, and we're finishing the first lap here. We've got a nice gap to Oresi, so we clip the wall. It hasn't been the cleanest lap, but we seem to have been able to get away with it, and we now cut on to lap 7 as Bill on Bob has destroyed his vehicle. We knew it was going to happen at some point as I get a bit excited and cut the first corner, and so that means we're surely going to get a safety car. It's obviously incredibly likely around here. I wasn't expecting it quite so early. No sign of safety car at the moment, so I'm going to keep pushing. My tyre wear is not looking good despite me running a tyre wear saving setup, but that's the life of a wheel user on this game, I'm afraid. As you come around Lowe's hairpin now, clip that nicely. And we got a safety car deployed, so that means I will pit this lap for option tyres, because my tyre wear is not good enough to make a one-stop work, I do not think. So I will pit and try and not lose too many positions. So I'm now attacking this in lap to try and gain as much time as I can. I'm looking behind and I am pulling out a small gap to second position. Let's see what the gap is over the line. Oh yeah, we've got quite a considerable gap to second, so we should not get held up in the pit spot, which is a bit of a problem with this Red Bull garage, because you're first on the road, so you can get held up quite easily, but that won't be a problem today. We put on a fresh set of options. Due to a small glitch, that's our only other fresh set of options for the entire race, so hopefully we won't get too many small safety cars. And we make sure we're saving fuel, put it in lean, and Lil God goes past, which slightly surprised me, I'm not going to lie. I thought everyone was going to pit under the safety car, but he will be on prime tyres, I assume, having started on them. Maybe accidentally select intermediates there rather than putting it into lean. And we're now going to catch up with Little God, and this is not the lap we come in on, but as you can see, Little God just sort of flies across the track for no reason, so I just thought I'd pop that in. I have no idea what happened there. I was quite concerned I was going to get a penalty for that, because it's a kind of Codemasters thing to happen. So we get green flag, and I've been slightly tardy off the restart, to be honest, but we've left Goldfish for dead, so this is going to be probably the best opportunity these first few laps, as I cut that corner with the amount of grip I have on these fresh options. Take me slightly by surprise. I'm all over Little God here, but I'm bearing in mind that I've just got the corner to get a good run, so I just back out of that. Put it into lean, which is vital around this corner, otherwise you get very, very sideways, as we still get slightly sideways. Little God runs slightly deep on his slightly worn prime tyres. I think the best opportunity we're going to have on this lap will be coming to the chicane out of the tunnel. Little God's all over the curves there, but managing alright. We've got a good run on him here. Put it into rich mix, try and maximise the run we have. We go to the outside, he kind of cuts us off, so we go down the inside. We brake very late and just about keep it on the track. Didn't get any warning or anything for that, so we just moved to the inside just to check he's not going to have any ideas. But in doing that, we get a bit excited and run wide. But we have got that position now, and we just need to focus on pulling away, because we are on fresh options and he's on relatively old primes, which we do as we cut all the way to lap 22, which is going to be our pit stop lap. I pushed these options as far as I could because I had no idea how far the primes were going to go, having done no practice. So we come in to try and do should be a relatively safe stint on the primes. We get a pretty standard pit stop, and let's see if anyone stays out, because Rockhammer is the only person not to have pitted behind me so far. Does he pit? No, he doesn't. He stayed out, so that means we have lost the lead yet again through the pit stops. But let's see how quickly we can close him down. Relatively, as we can see, at the first few laps I thought he was going to pit, so I didn't really push, and then I did 3 or 4 laps where I just pushed and closed the gap entirely down. Took quite a lot of life out of my tyres, but at this point I didn't know whether it was one stopping or not, so we just need to focus on getting good runs. We get a bit of oversteer there despite using lean and medium traction, which is allowed in this league. We go up the inside here, fair enough to him. We get slightly sideways on the entry, and instead of putting in lean, we try and select brake balance, which is terrible. And now we're side by side. He slightly understeers there. I'm trying to tuck in behind him, and then he brakes much earlier, and it's kind of an accidental move there. I did apologise to him after the race, because I was expecting to tuck him behind, and he braked much earlier than I was expecting, so I kind of did a Raikkonen-Magnussen move on him from this year's Grand Prix, and it worked, whereas Raikkonen's didn't. And we cut all the way to the last lap, where absolutely nothing happened other than Rockhammer pitted. My tyres, I can tell you, are absolutely dead at this point. As you can see, I'm sliding all around over the place. And Goldfish has the fastest lap, which is only a fraction faster than ours, which is a real shame, because I was hoping I was going to be able to get a pole win and the fastest lap, but he's denied us that. Nevertheless, we do come across the line to win the race. As you can see, we're very happy about it, sliding the car all over the place. And with our championship rival finishing down in 7th, having had a few reliability problems with his pad, we have gained a lot of points, which is excellent for our championship. I think we now have 22 or 23 point lead, with King Rockhammer and Sejimet coming home in 2nd and 3rd, and that's their best ever results. As you can see, it was quite a dominant win in the end. Despite Rockhammer having fresh options at the end, he didn't really close us in. We kept the gap to a pretty standard 22 seconds, and our weaving cost us a bit of time at the end there. But thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.